Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. The Los Angeles Lakers front office faces even more pressure to upgrade their roster after 39-year-old LeBron James showed he still has enough in the tank to lead a team in the Olympics. Los Angeles hasn't added any players in free agency or a trade after losing in the first round of the NBA playoffs to the Denver Nuggets. Zach Buckley of Bleacher Report called the Lakers' quiet offseason borderline indefensible, highlighting the need for improvements next to James. Perhaps LeBron James' MVP performance at the Olympics will be a wake-up call for the Lakers, Buckley wrote on August 16. Their sleepy summer feels borderline indefensible with the 39-year-old still hooping at such a high level and still being in such obvious need of an upgraded supporting cast. To help improve the roster, Buckley proposed a trade that'd send D'Angelo Russell, a first-round pick, and more to the Portland Trail Blazers for Jerami Grant. Grant probably isn't a 20-point scorer on a good team, but he could be an efficient third or fourth option who increases the club's versatility on defense, Buckley wrote. In the past, there may have been spacing concerns with slotting him alongside James and Anthony Davis, but he alleviated many of them with a 40+% splash rate on decent volume over the past 2 seasons. The 30-year-old isn't quite a third star, but he could star in sort of a souped-up 3-and-D role. And who knows, maybe if the Lakers can coax a leap year out of Austin Reeves, they'll already have a third star in-house. With James and Anthony Davis only getting older, the Los Angeles Lakers must be smart with who they trade their picks for. Their only 2 tradable first-round picks are in 2029 and 2031, likely when James is long gone. Lacking a young star on the roster and talent in general, Dan Favale of Bleacher Report named their first-round picks the 4th best trade asset in the league. Timelines change fast in the NBA. That 5 to 7-year window could represent 3 or more different iterations of the Lakers, Favale wrote on July 30. And the more they turn things over, the more likely one of those selections becomes a high lottery pick. Grant, who turns 31 in the season, isn't someone the Lakers can bank on to be a high-level player in a few years due to his age, which complicates matters. The Los Angeles Lakers trading a first-round pick, Russell, and more would see them move many of their top assets. Grant, entering the second year of his 5-year, $160.0 million contract, would be a nice addition to the team. He averaged 21.0 points, 3.5 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and shot 40.2% from three-point range on 5.1 attempts per game. His 6'7" frame would also give the Lakers a player they could put on wings. However, moving Russell, who averaged 18.0 points, 6.3 assists, and shot 41.5% from three-point range on 7.2 attempts in 2023-24 plus a first-round pick in Vanderbilt would be a massive price. Vanderbilt, who dealt with injuries and played in just 29 games last year, is an elite defender and would be missed on that end. Lakers news: Michael Cooper discusses honor of getting jersey retired. The Los Angeles Lakers are adding a new name to the collection of all-time greats whose jerseys hang in the rafters at Crypto.com Arena later this season. They are honoring Showtime guard Michael Cooper by putting his number 21 alongside some of the greatest to ever play basketball on January 13, 2025, against the San Antonio Spurs. Cooper played for the Lakers for all 12 seasons of his career from 1978 to 1990. He won all 5 Showtime-era championships alongside Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He won the 1986-87 Defensive Player of the Year award and was named to 8 All-Defensive Teams, 5 First-Team and 3 Second-Team selections. The Lakers have a long-standing rule that players must be inducted into the Hall of Fame and have won a championship in LA to get their jersey retired, and Cooper, starting October 13 of this year, will have officially met both requirements. He spoke about what this means for him and his family via the Showtime podcast, I'm 68 years old, had a wonderful NBA career, my after-basketball career has been fabulous, but I'm experiencing something very fantastic. I've always played this game, and everybody knows that, for the love of the game. But some magnificent individual accolades have been bestowed upon me. First being named into the Hall of Fame, which would be October 12th and 13th, and I thought the dream had ended right there. But the Lakers yesterday had bestowed upon me probably one of the most prestigious award any NBA player, any athlete, can get playing for an organization. And I've always said the Lakers are a great organization, I'm not saying it now, because of what they've done for me. And what they've done is they're going to retire my jersey on January 13th. If we weren't on camera, I would start crying, but I did my crying last night. I got a chance to talk about it like an adult. That there is the ultimate award, because what that means is that every time you walk into the arena where the Lakers play, that jersey is going to be up there with some of the best that's ever played this game. You have Wilt Chamberlain, Magic, Kareem, Shaq, Kobe twice, just to name a few. And now the number 21. And the thing I like about that is because we would all like to live forever, but that's not going to happen. But my kids, grandkids, and my great-great-grandkids, any time they go to a Lakers event, they'll see the number 21 hanging up there with the insignia Cooper on it. That's who they are, and that's where it all began. So like I said, it's the year of me. I'm going to revel in it a little bit because I do appreciate the Lakers for that. Like I said, I just played for the love of the game and for heart and for winning championships. There was a point where I could have left, but loyalty means something, and yet you can be a great player. But the first franchise you ever get to be with is where you play your heart and soul. I always tell people I never played in Crypto.com arena, but I left a lot of skin and a lot of blood. I left a piece of my hair stuck in a scaffold at the Forum, and the greatest memories I ever had were playing this game at the Forum. Cooper is one of the most beloved players in Lakers history, and his work in the radio broadcast booth for LA in the years since his retirement has affirmed that. Cooper is known as one of the best defensive guards ever to play the game and is finally being honored for his significant contributions to one of the sport's greatest dynasties. LeBron's last stand? Lakers could trade for Jerami Grant to boost title hopes. The Los Angeles Lakers might be the most curious team this NBA offseason. After another playoff exit to the Denver Nuggets, many were expecting them to rebound with multiple roster changes. But they have stood pat, only adding 2 rookies in the NBA draft. Instead of the multiple changes, they walk into next season with basically the same roster. And questions are starting to emerge. Due to the brilliance of LeBron James, the team should definitely be competitive. But it isn't a world beater by any stretch of the imagination. As such, with the 39-year-old at the helm, it feels like a criminal waste of the final days of his prime. As evidenced by the Paris Olympics, James still has it. But he needs a quality team around him to have a shot at contending for a title. On the Lakers' end, any move would mean giving up on assets and a potential future. But, with LBJ at the helm, they could come to a compromise. One name perpetually tied with them has been Jerami Grant from the Portland Trail Blazers. As per reports, the two teams had multiple discussions about what a potential trade could look like. However, nothing concrete came to pass and Grant is still in Portland. Still, Grant is the best-case scenario for Los Angeles and GM Rob Pelinka. And there might be a way to make both parties happy. Coming down from 2 first-rounders to 1 might be the biggest jump for Portland. While Jerami has $132 million left over 4 years, the Trail Blazers might be looking for a bigger draft haul for the 3-and-D specialist. But the addition of D'Angelo Russell might persuade them otherwise. Russell has had a great tenure with the Lakers, barring the playoffs. Throughout the regular season, D'Lo functions as one of the better point guards in the league. For Portland, his on-court production would be secondary as they could repackage him for more assets. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Jerami Grant? Leave your opinion in the comments.